Well, we're holding on to a 300-point gain for the Dow. We're off the high when we were up about 380, but we're up 312. 24,600 is where we are. Come on in, Fox contributor Scott Martin. Is this it? Is this the start of a real serious rebound that will hold through the end of the year?
Today it is. When that's going to last, Stuart, gosh. Listen, I tell you, in this market, though, you've really got to play things short term, I think. You really have to pay attention to things day to day. I like your question, though. By the end of the year, I think things are going to settle down. Let me put it that way. We're going to get some clarity out of, hopefully, these talks with China, more economic data. And I think even more importantly, Stuart, we're going to get past that next Fed rate hike in December, where I think the Fed is going to comment about listening to these markets, maybe taking a pause, as I've been saying all along in 2019, which is indications that the market's going to like.
I've got some big positives that the market is facing today. You've got an extremely strong holiday shopping season kicking off. We've got predictions that will be up 6% this holiday season. That is enormous. We've got gas prices absolutely tumbling, and they've still got further to go on the downside. And we've got a rate of growth in the economy which is remaining very, very strong. I would have thought that those are the fundamentals. Surely that's good enough to sustain today's rally.
I would think so, too. And I would frankly think that those fundamentals, which you pointed out, have kind of been in place for a while. You know, we've seen oil dropping for days or weeks. We've known that this holiday shopping season, just looking at surveys, consumer sentiment, you know, that this holiday season, Stuart, looking at 401k balances was going to be great. Yet the market psychology was so rough that it was looking at the other side of the coin and saying, well, the rate of growth is going to slow in 2019, and we've had peak earnings, and oil's going to rebound because of issues with Saudi Arabia or whatever. And the reality is, as an investor and as a money manager myself, Stuart, you really have to take, I guess, at least a stance on where the market psychology is. And right now, the market wants to see those fundamentals, but is waiting to, I guess, have the verdict in on them. And therefore, I do believe those are in place, but you probably got to get by this market psychology, which is in a bad state, for a few more weeks.
As an elderly person myself, facing a limited time horizon, should I put more money into this market? I asked the question because last week I bought some Alibaba. I didn't add to my stake in Microsoft, but I bought into Alibaba. I bought into the market. Was I right?
I think that was a good buy, and that's part of investing, is you've got to buy low and sell high, which is really hard to do. And frankly, as I talked about market psychology, human psychology really gets in the way of actually doing that, and investors do typically the opposite. I'm getting out early, too. I turned 40 this year, and I know that kind of sounds a bit trifle, but it's true. I'm getting closer to my retirement than I was when I started investing, believe it or not. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind, Stuart, that there is asset class allocation out there. When you talk about fixed income, which we've been adding to in our portfolio, gold as well, which will help balance out some of the equity stuff that you own.
We're laughing, Scott, because you're throwing you off the show. We're throwing you.
That's it. You're done.
He just said he's turned 40.
Oh, my God. Some child.
I am closer,
really? How to invest.
I am closer to my possible retirement than I was when I first bought my first stock. So there you go.
All right, we'll give you that one. Scott, thanks for being here. Thanks very much, sir. See you soon.